Yeah, world, welcome to another episode, Media Legends. Right now, we got set up in shout out to my man Vibes first and foremost.
Word.
He took the Gintv brand out there to Tampa, Florida, and really extended it and really blew it up to a whole new level. And my esteemed guest today is one of the first people we touched bases with that had the whole that has the whole Tampa, Florida scene on lock. And we touched bases with him and he opened up a lot of doors for us. So without further ado, I want to introduce my man Shizzle. Yo, Shizzle, what's goody? What's goody? How you, man?
What's up, my G? Cooling, keeping it moving. You know what I mean?
So
That's
we were
what's up.
just chopping it up a little bit before this, you used to doing the interviewing, so right now you on the hot seat on the other end. I'm gonna be chopping it up with you and asking you the question. How that feel? Tell me what that's like too. How that
That's cool, brother. That's cool. You know what I mean? Feel free to ask your boy whatever you like. I
so
think
let me
it's
know
all
how did you get started? So what's your position in the media? Like what do you say that you do? I know what you do, but tell the people.
well, I have an urban contemporary talk show.
Okay,
Uh,
okay.
that's what it is. I started off in terrestrial radio. Well, I started off in music first.
Oh,
You know
he's
what I
an
mean?
artist?
Yeah, I was an artist, man, and we
Okay.
did pretty good independently. Me and my partner. Shout out to my man Lyrical. Me and him, we together we was called Green Stamp, right?
Right.
And my name is Dax, and I had the Shizzle involved, so that's where you got the D Shizzle. So I was D Shizzle, the music artist first. We had
Okay.
did an interview as an artist on one of our stations here where I live in Sarasota, here in Florida. Yeah, shout out to WSLR 96.5. Um, things I got some knowledge to the industry. You know what I'm saying? I found out a few things. I met a few people, and after I found out a few more things. I didn't really want to go that route with music. So fortunately, God opened up.
We go skill like what kind of things did you find out? You don't have to say no names really, but like what kind of things turned you off to being an artist?
Um, that I wasn't willing to. That's the best way to put this. Compromise the integrity of self
Okay.
for for fame.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
because I started off as an artist too, but I was always more business minded. So even though and I was in a group as well, so I didn't want to be a solo artist. So once the group situation kind of fell apart, then I was like, what else can I do? So that's how I kind of transitioned into media.
Well, that kind of that's that yeah. Because me and my man did kind of part ways, and just like you said, you was the business, focused more on the business end as an artist, and so was I. You know what I mean? I kind of did a bunch of our managerial duties and doing the knowledge to certain things when it came to
Right.
these contracts, making sure everything is right for us and shit like that. I mastered that while my brother mastered Pro Tools. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So he became an awesome engineer as well as a producer. That's what he does up today. And I journeyed into radio, man. Like I was saying, I had did the interview as an artist on that station. Uh, the gentleman that I did the interview with gave me a call. And I want to shout out to Mr. Gerald Green. He's a older fella. He hit me like, yo, young blood, I got this show. I like your style. I want you to come in and help me revamp my show and then. So, I never thought about radio or anything like that.
So
But
he just hit you out the blue with that, like, yo,
yeah. I had got a call
dope.
one day and he was like, yo, why don't you come in and, kind of help me out with this radio thing? And I had and after the music thing, I ended up getting a little solo deal with a smaller label. Shout out to Spolarized Records, Miss Peggy Spolar. I ended up getting a little single deal. that didn't really do too much. So I kind of lost the passion for music a little bit. And then, like I said, the knowledge that I found out about, I just kind of lost the passion a little bit. And I agree with you with what you said. You didn't really go into the music intending to be a solo artist. Once you had your little group thing, me and my man had our duo. I didn't really think about being a solo artist. I can agree with that as well. But anyways, get back to what I was saying. So I got in with Mr. G, man. And I remember it was Saturday nights, a crazy hour. It was like 11 p.m. to 1. So I got in with Mr. G and caught a passion for radio. And it was terrestrial radio that I started in. Shout out to 96.5 FM. I was able to get my real radio certification through FM radio, and it popped off. It popped off. I appreciated it, It got to a point where with Mr. G, right? Mr. G, I guess he had some engagements at certain times in certain shows, and I had booked people and all that, man, and I didn't know how to run the boards. I didn't know how to do anything. You know what I'm saying? So, and I didn't want to, I looked like a fool like twice. Mr. G didn't show up, and I'm sitting there with artists and people that I booked, and I'm like, man, forget this. So I had to learn what was going on. Right. So that's what kind of pushed me to becoming my own radio programmer. You know what I mean? My own person. So that's pretty much how it started. It started in 96.5, rocking with Mr. G. Around that time, right, when I first got the Shizzle show. Okay, so that's how we got the Shizzle show, because I was the
So
Shizzle.
he automatically gave you your own show, like the Shizzle show, like you was automatically.
Well, that's what I titled it. It took a little process. Shout out to Miss Arlene Sweeting. She was the program director of 96.5 FM, and she's the one that okayed my show. So without her, there would have never been a Shizzle show. I appreciate her doing that. And yeah, man. Yeah. And what I was getting to is when I first started the Shizzle show, that's when I met Vibes, because my brother, Prince Rob, me and Rob grew up together. You know what I'm saying? I've known Rob since I was about 13, 14. Okay. You know what I mean? So I've known that brother over 20 years. And he happened to get cool with Vibes. So, boom. Rob was like, yo, we doing this, we doing that. I'm like, yo, I'm over here doing this. We need to make something happen. So that's around the time when Vibes first got here. So our whole journey, me being in radio and when he came here, has been together. It's been together, man. That's why I always say, like, the Shizzle show in Gintv is like peanut butter and jelly, bro. Maybe like peanut butter and jelly or a bologna and cheese sandwich. You know what I mean? We've been rocking since the beginning of our media life and entertainment, let's say.
Dope. So 96.5, because here, if I didn't make it clear, my man Shizzle, he's out there in Tampa, Florida, holding it down. And, I'm out of New York, Brooklyn. So, I ain't gonna front. Here in New York, we kind of got the bias of, like, everything evolves around New York and now. So Hot 97 and later Power 105 came. Those are the home bases of the radio for us. Now out there in Tampa, what is 96.5? Like, how is that, like college radio? Is that a mainstream station? Like,
it would be, what would it be the equivalent to in New York?
Or just nationally, because we international with this.
Let me think about that one, because what would it be to the equivalent? What was WBLS? What was WBLS back then?
That's a mainstream station.
It would be like a WBLS.
Okay, yeah, that's up there. WBLS is kind of, if I'm not mistaken, let me know if I'm wrong. Hot 97 kind of stems from WBLS. WBLS started off, playing the genre of black music, and then Hot 97 was kind of
that's a legendary spot right there in New York. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
One word.
Okay. So you had you had a legendary time slot on a legendary station, pretty much.
Well, I don't know if you want to call it. It's not legendary, but it's here. It's here, and I live in Sarasota. So
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you about how all that was too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah. Let us know.
I
Let us
started
know.
word. Yeah, I started in Sarasota, and that's where I live. That's where I reside, and this is where 96.5 is. I overextended all my boundaries here in my area code in the 941. So I had to take it to Tampa, just I couldn't do no more here. Fortunately I had won this thing called an All Florida Award for Best Radio Talk Show in like 2016. That helped catapult some things. I had some real awesome interviews back then. I remember like one of my first ones was like Lil Flip. I had Lil Flip, Mike Jones,
So let's touch on that real quick. Who was your first
Ross. Go ahead.
Who's your first like major artist that you interviewed that you can remember interviewing? You was like,
Professor Griff.
Oh, dope. How'd you get him?
Professor Griff was my first real artist. That was actually Mr. G. Mr. G had to connect because Professor Griff does a lot of lectures and does a lot of lectures and stuff like that. So I think he had met him when he was down here one time, and I don't know if Mr. G, that's how I remember. It's been a while though because it's about 6 years. I've been doing this about 7 years total.
Okay.
So that was about 6 years ago. And as I remember, it was Mr. G. That's how I got that connection. But then I ended up being friends with Professor Griff, man, and I got a chance to go and meet him personally, go to one of his lectures and everything. That's a very strong, powerful brother right there.
Most definitely. Salute to Professor Griff. Salute.
Yeah, man. Public Enemy, man. What was it? The S1Ws, the SW1s. That was his militant team.
Right. Yeah, Professor. Yeah.
That was part of Public Enemy, the legendary Public Enemy.
Mm-hmm. Of course. So how did you go about preparing for that interview? Like, what was your mindset when you entered that? Because you coming from an artist, and now you're interviewing people. So how did you make that transition?
I can tell you this. So I love hip hop, right? I grew up in hip hop. So it's like, I loved it. So I'm enough today, you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm a hip hop historian. I'm sure you are too. We are just because we grew up in it. Word, just because we grew up in it, right?
Right.
So when I interview certain artists, I felt like I've already got a certain level of knowing you because I've been following you and rocking with you since a kid. Like I love Public Enemy. You know what I'm saying? I love Chuck D and Flavor. Man, I remember some of that Rebel Without a Paul. That remember that? I always remember that beat. You know what I'm saying? So it's already. I feel kind of personable with him, man. I don't know. And then by that I'm asking you questions that me as a fan of you growing up would ask. That's how I got away with it with a lot of them because I didn't know what I was doing really then. You know what I mean? But then I interviewed this one individual who is a radio legend here in Florida, period. His name is Mr. Joe Mama Johnson. And he used to have this show called The Quiet Storm for like 25 years, right?
Okay.
So when I went to interview Joe Mama Johnson, he kind of checked me on air in a certain way. Like when you don't know what you're doing, you're asking a lot of surface questions. You know what I'm saying? You don't really know how to really boom, boom, boom. And the way he checked me on air was awesome because it's made me into the radio fella that I am now. Like I'm more of a journalistic radio personality now. Like I'm gonna go in gonna ask you some very intriguing questions, and it's some stuff that people might not normally ask you, but it's gonna be pertaining to what you do to get you that look like, whoa, how you know? Damn, Shizzle, how you know about that? You know what I'm saying? Like how I hit Master P with the rap noodles. See, I did my knowledge, but Bud knew about the rap noodles before they even hit the world. Now the world knows about the rap noodles. But I had did the interview with him and I talked about it, and them joints were still in production. You know what I mean? But I knew about it. So that's how I am now and evolved. I'm a journalistic personality. Like I can go in, I know what's going on with each individual that I interview. You know what I mean? When you're just a radio personality, you really don't know. You ask surface questions. I call them surface questions. Like it's the basic questions that you're gonna ask somebody that's really not too intriguing to have them engage with you like that, right? And how he did me was he was giving me one-liners, and you ask questions for the person to elaborate on what you asked them. And he was just giving me quick one-liners, like na and being quiet real quick, probably to see how I was gonna keep my timing and that shit. All that shit changed me, man. All that whole situation changed me. So that's the difference. To answer your question is when you don't know, you're not gonna ask extremely like engaged. It's not gonna, your question game ain't gonna, it's not gonna be how it is. It's gonna be rookie-ish. Right. So then the people that know what they're doing with interviews, even artists, an artist might have had like 1 million interviews. He knows who's interviewing him, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? Definitely. That's how an artist is gonna know. But like I said, he's a professional. He's doing radio over 25 years. So he knew exactly how to, you know, come at me or to see where I was. And he saw I wasn't there yet. But he did it in a caring type of way to where he knew that I would, I don't know, man. It was just awesome, bro. That's all I can say. So that's the difference. You're gonna ask some rookie questions. You're gonna be rookie style. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's, like tell us about your first single, or tell us, you know.
Yeah, like just basic questions instead of like, okay, so you could say that, right? That's what the regular cat would probably ask. Tell us about your first single, and then boom. Or you could be like, hey man, so you got that new single out and bubbling. How did it go down? How was the recording process? Who produced that track? I know you got some visuals to it. Boom, boom, boom. You know, you can hit them with and make it a well-rounded question other than just asking them that little, you know?
Most definitely. So
that's something, that's like a little jewel right there.
That's a jewel. That's what we're here for, media legends. You know, try to school these youngins on how to do this game instead of just the gotcha. So what do you think about gotcha journalism? Because I'm sure Joe Mama he wasn't really talking about a gotcha perspective. And for people that don't know what gotcha journalism is like they're trying to just ask you questions to get you to say something controversial.
Yes. Or you're asking shit for shock value. That's like gotcha, shock value. I'm not into that. I interviewed the real Freeway Ricky Ross. And this was around the time when all that Rick Ross name beef and all that shit was going on, right? I could have asked the question. I could have started the interview with that. But I knew building my platform and my brand, I didn't want to establish my shit off of negativity.
Right.
Because I saw how you could do it, but that's not my style. That's not my style. You know what I mean? That's not my style. And that's not how I wanted. Like I said, I want to establish my brand. So we ended up talking about everything else. Really, he was on because he had put out an autobiography. So that's why, you know, so we talked about that. We talked about, you know, some of his legendariness and things, you know, and then he ended up bringing it up and talking about it. Right. And then thanking me for giving them an opportunity to be one of the first Florida shows that gave him a platform to express how he felt about it. You know what I mean? So then it ended up being even more awesome than me even asking him about it. So
Yeah.
I knew back then that I wasn't gonna be one of them dudes that go in there with the controversy sales and you know what I'm saying, trying to shock value the situation for listeners and followers and all that bullshit. Nah, bro. I mean, like I built this organically, bro. I ain't I ain't about to taint my brand for no bullshit, you know?
Right. So, all right, let's get back to the building process. So now you're on 96.5
Mm-hmm.
and you have your first show. Professor, who was your first? Do you remember your first ever interview? I'm sure maybe that was probably like a underground MC or somebody maybe how did that interview go? Like what was that? What was
Yeah,
that like?
it was
What
a
was your
low
first ever
artist.
interview like? Not mainstream artist, but your first ever interview. Like walk us through that day if you remember it.
It was I think it was my man Gino Mays, to be exact. There was a group here in the 941 called it was Gino and Skunk, R.I.P. to Skunk Boogie, man. My man passed away. Um, it was Gino and they popping. It was popping here in the 941. So it was him. I brought Gino on. I brought my man Kid Ron on, and he was the dude that was shooting all the rap videos around that time. So I brought an artist, a videographer, and shit, it was probably Vibes and Rob. And my
Oh
man
wow.
DJ, and shout out to D, and because that was a female. Shout out to D. D was one of my co. No. D wasn't even on yet. It was just me and my man Ryan Nito. I ain't seen Ryan Nito in years.
Wow, wow. So Gintv really been
Shit.
a part of your nucleus. That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, because back then, right, there was no live. They didn't have no live and no Zooms and none of that. It was
Right,
just straight, terrestrial radio.
right.
So Vibes, they had the camera. And I wanted the footage of the Shizzle show shot.
Why did you
So
want
I
that
brought
footage then?
I brought Vibes in, and then Rob, he takes the pictures while Vibes shoots the footage. So I wanted footage and pictures taken at the show. And
Right.
then they were trying to build up their portfolio for down here. So it just worked hand in hand, and it always has been.
What gave you the insight to want to have cameras and pictures being taken while the radio is going on? Because even that's a whole new
Good question.
aspect of the game that people weren't really thinking of back then.
Good question. Because there was none of that back then, right?
Right.
But remember, I was an artist. So through artistry, when you're an artist, you promote your shit, you shoot videos. It's about your visuals and pictures and stuff like that. So that was one of the things that I incorporated into the radio-ness from the musical. I'm like, yo, this shit could be like a video, you know what I'm saying? And this is of my show, and then take pictures, and the people would like the pictures. And just like I was just saying too, it lead right into it. Boom. Gintv was shooting the footage. They came. This is round the top, like I said. Boom. I got my own show. Boom. Met Rob. Vibes met Rob. Boom. They came down. Boom. So Vibes is shooting the footage. Rob is taking the pictures, and we doing that, and we doing that, but no one else is doing that. You know what I'm saying? So it might have helped put it in effect when Vibes came down too. I will say that. My thoughts, because when me and Ryan Nito was first together, there was no way to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? And then Vibes came down, met Rob, boom, and we made that shit pop off with the visuals. Yeah, that's where I got it from music. Hell yeah. So that's what we would do. We would Vibes would do. We'd take it, chop it up, edit it, and upload it to the different outlets that we had.
Okay. Dope.
And I remember there was back then, right? there was a cable channel too in Tampa. And I remember that Vibes made some connection that you can with your cable network,
right
there in your city, and they have some channels where you're able to get on.
right
So we had some of the footage that from shows and things that we did put on there. So I remember on like Wednesdays and Fridays, you could see us on TV in Tampa. So that was something else that was popping. And no one else was doing that. No one else was doing that.
That's all the Gintv formula in New York, because we have it comes on here in New York in through public access channels. So when he went out there, I just told him, yo, look up, whatever public access they have out there, and we could put the episodes out there as well. So dope.
Because JP, wasn't our shows down here when he sent you, wasn't it being played up there on like Fridays and Saturdays?
Absolutely, yeah.
Because that's something else that we used to push back then that helped us out. You know what I mean? Like, yo, we on TV Wednesday and Friday here, then we up in New York, boom, Friday and Saturday, boom, 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 boom. That's something that word. And see, there was no one else doing that.
A lot of people was running around calling themselves TV shows, but we really on TV. That's why we say Gintv. It's not just a TV thing. It's really TV. Like, it's on. Now it's funny because TV is kind of getting to be, I won't say obsolete, but it's not as big as social media. You just put your show on YouTube or Facebook, and that's where your platform is. But back then, it's either DVDs or TV is the only platform we had. And that's where, and we was on that. We on that heavy still to this day. So you're from Sarasota, and then you moved over to Tampa. What's the
I'm not from here though. I live here. I'm not from here though.
Right, you're not from Tampa, but you're from Sarasota.
No, I just live here. I'm from New York.
Oh, you're from New York? Okay. So that's also, it leads back to the Mecca. That's where your love of hip hop started. Was in New York.
Word, yeah, bro. My first two concerts, UTFO and the Fat Boys. I was in like 5th, 6th grade, son. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So you've been following pretty much from the beginning.
Word, like I grew up in hip hop.
Right, of course, like we all did.
Word.
But explain to me how it is, because when we think of Florida, I think most people only think like Orlando and Miami, pretty much. That's the main things that you explain to me what the music scene, the hip hop feel is like out there in Tampa and Sarasota and all these other. How many different? We know them as boroughs, but what would you call them? Counties? What is that called?
Yeah, they're county. Well, shit, Tampa, that's a city. You know what I mean?
Okay, city.
That's a city. There's counties, you know what I'm saying? But that's the city. That's the city. People know Tampa. A lot of cats have been to Tampa.
Yeah, because y'all got the Buccaneers, so it's obviously a major.
Yeah, you got the Tampa Bay Bucks. You got the what's the hockey team? The hockey team is good too. The Lightning.
Oh, okay. I don't watch hockey, so I don't know.
Didn't they just win the Stanley Cup? Now that's just me being aware. You know what I mean? Right. Being aware that in the city, because it's things is popping, and you get a city where you do good in the sports. You kind of just
right. It boosts your city.
Either. I'm sure you heard. You know about the Rangers.
Right. Yeah, because when we won the chip, I was when the Rangers won. I hear me weak. When the Rangers won the chip, I was all in it. Like, yeah, we did it.
That's what I mean. You would know if in the city or whatever. But I don't really rock with the hockey either. Peace to them though. I guess there's more brothers in hockey these days. That's cool. Oh yeah, to answer your question though, yeah, Tampa, like Orlando's kind of New Yorkish too. To me, Tampa has its homegrown cats that have done their thing. Peace to all of them from the Tampa. I don't even want to get into licking off names because I don't want to
not forget nobody, right?
Nobody. Tom G been doing his thing. Just mad people, bro. Mad people been doing their thing. And you have the ones that are there that have been doing their thing. And then you have other cats that have moved there from they call us like up north, right? So you have cats that move from up north that are there that are doing things as well. So Tampa seems like a kind of like a melting pot right now of hip hop. It's just got and it's hip hoppy there. It's still hip hop there. You know what I mean?
What do you mean by that? By it's still hip hop?
Like it's still got it's got the essence there. A lot of the cats that are involved with the music are essence people.
Okay.
You know? And it has our hip hop. That's what I mean, the essence. The hip hop that we know of. The hip hop of today is a little different with the young gunners, you know, peace to it, but it's Mad Migos flavor. Like where our hip hop, you know, we had individuals, man. You know what I'm saying? Like Wu-Tang was Wu-Tang, Nas was Nas, Busta's Bust, you know, DMX was DMX. Like people were people. They don't. Now a lot of the cats sound similar. A lot of them sound similar. I don't know who a lot of the young gunners are. I find out. You know what's another thing that's kind of fucked up of these days? It's like I find out about the young gunners and their music when they perish.
Yeah, I've been peeping that too.
A lot of them. That's crazy. A lot of the young gunners, I didn't know who you was until you died. R.I.P. to all you young gunners, man. But I'm like, damn. And you know, our era, we used to talk, you know, talking about rappers dying and shit. But these days, if the kids is paying attention to these young kid rappers, they're like, damn, the rap dudes is perishing, bro.
Yeah, sadly, we're hearing about it like every other week or every week, once a week, we getting somebody nowadays.
Young gunners is
it's
dropping
sad.
Lies, and that's not cool. I don't know if the social media is making these cats too accessible to the people. You know, you got a big ass brick of money to your ear, people out there starving, and you going super live from this mansion, and people find out addresses and shit to different things. Not everybody is friendly to what and approve of what they seeing of you. You know what I mean? There's lots of haters and people out here that ain't got it, that's hungry and starving still. And you know, it might go at your head. And that's obviously a lot of that shit, it seems as though it's like they found out where the young gunners was at and went and got them.
Right. Yeah, it's sad. It's super sad. Like, so with the Shizzle, so now we got it going, we got the videos going, we got the cameras taking place. What's the next evolution now? Where do you take it from after that? So once you got how does it go from, because I think by the time I came down there and I met you, like you may have already been more into the internet.
Like, word. All right, so okay, real quick. All right, so I won that award. Things was great.
So first year out, you won the award. I think you might have there might have been around the time we broke up. So you won the award the first year out from the first show, first season.
Nah, it was like after like 2 years.
Okay.
Because I won it in 2016, and I started in like 2013, end of 13, 14, beginning of 14.
Okay.
When I really started, and I won that shit in like 2 years. Word.
Dope.
So yeah, it might be like a year because I co-piloted with Mr. G for about a year until I got my own situation, and then I was over there for about a year. All right, so what happened? Answer your question real quick. The program director changed at the station. I'm not gonna name his name. Miss Arlene was no longer the program director. All right, so I don't think Mr. Day, he liked the attention that we was getting, right? But I don't think he wanted the melanated attention, let's say. Feel me?
Oh, okay.
Okay. And I remember he was gonna try to suspend me, man, for playing Biggie's 10 Crack Commandments. And you know it's the damn clean version. right? Because I'm on terrestrial radio with all the FCC rules and regulations and all that, right? So, you know, clean. So, but he was going to try to suspend me for 3 months, for 90 days, for playing Biggie's 10 Crack Commandments. So I was either going to take that 90-day suspension, or I said, F it. Or say F it. And I said, F it. I'm like, man, please, man, as much as I've done for you, for this station, how much I've brought the numbers up, and I'm not talking on no cool shit, nothing like that. I'm just saying on how they did me. You know what I'm saying? How you did me. Right. And I brought a whole new light and situation to that station. I had people coming down from all over that ain't even came to Sarasota. They was coming for the Shizzle show. So it was bringing light to the city, bringing light. It was just bringing light, bro. Light.
Right.
But I think they was trying to dim that light because, you know, where Mr. Dave was. And because, you know, I don't think he wanted that melanatedness. You know what I'm saying? For real. I can't even front. That's how I felt. That's how I felt.
Because you said 96.5 was more of a like an R&B type of.
No, it wasn't even R&B, bro. It was more of like a Rush Limbaugh type of political type of thing. Because where I live in Sarasota, there's lots of rich Caucasian people. Okay. That's just what it is. I live right by the water. Like I live 10 minutes away from the ocean.
Okay.
Where I live here, I can only go so far one way. The ocean covers all of it. All of it. You know what I'm saying? Right here. That's how it is in Sarasota. And it's rich. It's rich. There's nothing to see. Bentleys and Ferraris and all that. I just saw a new Bentley today. I'd like the 2021 GT. I never saw that shit. Boom. And I seen so many Bentley trucks, man. The Bentley truck don't look that cool for as much as that shit is. It's all right. Still Range Rover looks better, and I've seen plenty of Bentley trucks. Man, these old ass people are rich as hell around here.
So I won't even get to what you pushing if you hanging in that neighborhood. We gonna leave that alone. You ain't even got to answer. You ain't even got to answer, bro. It's all good.
Let's say, hey, it ain't a Bentley.
So how did you he who shall not be named, he kind of pushed you out. So what gave you the foresight to say, okay, forget terrestrial radio, let me go into internet more type of field?
Yes. Okay. My man Ryan, my man Gator Rye, he was a known DJ here. He had a situation with these cats with a terrestrial radio station, with an internet radio station that they have popping on. It's called STLR, Sky's the Limit Radio. And I've known Rye since my musical days. You know what I mean? And we just always had a great connection with each other, man. Rye's been with me my whole music career, whole radio career, and he's always did a lot of production work for me, behind the scenes and stuff like that. So he's always been with me. So they went over there. He partnered with those cats. He was like, yo, Shiz, man, forget that over there with them. Why don't you come over here? You know, your light, which he's always recognized. Peace to my brother. It's worthy over here. It's needed over here. We could use you over here to help establish this situation, you know? And we was bubbling by then. And like I said, Gintv's been with me since day one. So we was bubbling. We had a few big concerts behind our belt. You know, one of them that helped establish us when we was with Mike Jones. Y'all, I don't know, probably today they don't remember, but there was this cat named Mike Jones. Man, we got to rock. We rocked out with Mike Jones. We was with Bone Thugs and Harmony, and we was with the cat named Mims. And I don't know if y'all remember a track. It was called "This Is Why I'm Hot." This is why I'm hot. You know what I'm saying? It popped off. So we was with them. That was one of our first ones because we got a chance to go behind the scenes with them, chill up. You know what I mean? Share a little tree session with brothers and kick it. So that was like one of our first good ass footages that we had. So boom, through that, we started getting press passes. And we were going to different events and shooting the visuals there and doing different stuff. So we had a bunch of stuff, a bunch of momentum to go into STLR.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And we did some things. We went there with our momentum. We took flight there. Salute to AD, man. RIP to AD the General.
Yeah,
I know you knew AD. AD used to bring mad cats down that was on tour. You know what I mean? So we got a chance to bring Beans, Joel Ortiz, Cassidy, had the meet and greet with J.R. Ryder. Just numerous different cats, man. Love to AD. And see, that was through vibes. You know what I mean? Hooking up with AD, A coming down, getting cool, boom, making things happen. So that was something else that helped establish ourselves at STLR. And that was a brand new situation. We was bringing seasoned vets through, you know? And then we got other people, man. Like I said, my show, the Shizzle show was established. So I was bringing in awesome people that were here in Florida, whether it be independent artists on the rise, independent artists that are established on their way to get signed, and artists that that are like legends here. Like I'm good friends with JT Money, and y'all remember the track who that? Y'all might hear that in a damn in a movie these days. You know what I'm saying?
Or a sporting arena. They always playing that in the
that who that? You know what I'm saying? Like I could call Jay right now. Being friends with some legends. With RIP to Fresh Kid Ice, man. Y'all remember 2 Live Crew with Luke, the Chinese guy,
right?
Chinaman. That's Fresh Kid Ice, man. Salute to him. He put me in his documentary. Man. He was getting Chinaman records popping off. Salute to the whole team. I don't want to get into that. I don't want to not name anybody. But so by getting to know these people and having them on, and other people, and Gintv bringing in people, man, we blew STLR up. That gets to where you came in. That's where you was at that night. You was at STLR.
Okay.
I had to bring your question in the full circle there. That's where boom, that night. So that's where we got it popping at. That was the internet station. And if I don't know if you remember, but behind us on that wall, we used to have that big ass thing that had all them signatures and shit on there.
Yeah, definitely.
And see, that was from celebs and all kinds of different shit. 90% of that was the Shizzle show. I ain't even trying to be cool or nothing, bro, because I ain't like how they did it either. Them cats lucky they ain't get their heads cracked, but it's all good. We had a great run, and peace to everybody. Peace to all of them. We had a great run, and
what would you say was the
Boosie even came through. We had Boosie at that station too.
Oh,
Boosie was in there. That was another one that helped really catapult things. Then man, we was going to different shit, bro. Then this like, oh, then I gotta slide this in. So then comes the Southern Muscle Awards. We have to go host that. I host. Gintv, once again, they always been with me. They shooting the footage. Damn, dudes hit me. Shout out to my man Potty Ali, 97.3 FM over in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Over in Michigan. My man, boom, the heat over there. He just hit me with something. I'll hit you back, bro. I'm sitting here doing an interview right now. All right. So, where was I at? Shit.
Used to the Southern Muscle Awards.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that, bro. Southern Muscle Awards. With shout out to my man J3 and everybody. That was big. That Southern Muscle Awards was big. It was whoa. It was awesome. And that's another one that helped us establish us. Because I had to host it, the red carpet. And Gintv shot the footage, took the pictures. I want to say something else about like Gintv with the pictures, right? Y'all's logo.
Prince Rob, what up, Rob?
Word. Y'all's logo always goes at like the bottom left, right? So back then, when we was even at terrestrial, all the pictures had that little Gintv logo, right? So when the people, like we establishing ourselves, You got the Shizzle show, but then you got your pictures and your footage for Gintv. Oh yeah, when the footage too comes out, you see the little Gintv logo at the bottom left as well. You know what I'm saying? So the brand just kind of came together, and once we became established like that, you would want to be on the show, but then boom, you want to get your visual from Gintv, and you want your picture with your little logo on it. So that's something else that helped establish us. Then we doing shit like the Tampa Music Conference. Salute to Angel, to Angel and this the Soto family, getting that popping. They would bring in different celebrities, different people. Boom, we had to go there and hold down the red carpet. You know what I mean, so by us doing events, getting press passes to go to different concerts, bringing in ill people on the show, all those connects I told you we had, bringing people down, all that together, and then keeping that moving with consistency. That, man, damn, I just gave away our formula. But
I mean, it's in the history book. So,
but see, that's how we got it popping.
It's in the history book, so ain't nothing they could do about it now, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's how we got it popping. That's what it is. That's what we did, man. And that's how we established ourselves and how we rocking to how we are now. Because we did those things at this magnitude, but now we've done it to this magnitude. And now we're trying to do it to this magnitude. You know what I'm saying? But that's how it's been. That and the growth of that. And we've added on with more awesome events. Like, for instance, the one that really helped. Well, go ahead. It's about time for you probably ask me a question.
So what do you still doing the interview thing? You're still, you controlling the interview. I like that. You know, I usually don't get to, interview a person who knows how to do interviews, so you know how to talk and keep the people which is beautiful.
Hey, this is cool, chopping it up, bro. This is cool.
Cause like you said, I hate to sit down and talk with an artist where you gotta drag the question, the answers out of them. Like that's the worst feeling in the world. Like, since we hear, like, what, you may not want to name a name, but tell me about an experience about when you have to, like, yo, this interview, what is going on here? Like, homegirl is killing me. Like, just trying to, like, drag the, what was your worst interview, you would say? You know, I'll give you mine. Mine was this artist named Charles Hamilton. I don't know if you ever heard of Charles Hamilton.
Charles Hamilton? Industry Charles Hamilton?
Yeah, like he was I don't know if he was kind of like a what's these dudes' name? Like a Odd Future type of rapper. Like he had like the
weird... Then nah.
Yeah,
and I think I'm thinking of Anthony Hamilton, bro.
Yeah, Anthony Hamilton is the R&B dude.
Nah, I don't know the dude you talking about. Go ahead though.
But he was like he was on this superstar vibe before he even got to that level. You know, he had a little bit of buzz going on. And then by the time, by the time I interviewed him, he was on some like who you? Like, why you interviewing me? And I was like, yo, dude, I don't even need to interview. Like, it's all good. So, and then,
bro, you on my platform. What you talking about?
Right. That's what a lot of these artists don't realize. Is like we working hand in hand. Like, yes, it's a good look that I'm interviewing you, but you also getting to know my audience, and your music is, and your name is spreading out even more. That's what the combination with the Shizzle Show and Gintv works so well, because we got to utilize each other's platforms to be like, okay, here's my audience and here's my audience, and let's combine them together. And now they both know us. And I don't think a lot of these artists realize that. But
off of what you just said right there, a young dude listening to this, you go in there smelling yourself like that, and especially with media people, you might blacklist yourself before you even know it, bro. Because we know each other. A lot of media people, we know each other. You know what I'm saying? If you nice, we can pass your music on. We could suggest an interview to another awesome fella on another platform. But if you come on there smelling yourself and just being a little too extra, you ain't gonna get that, bro. You ain't gonna get no love. And I don't give a damn how good you are as an artist. you gotta you gotta get the music out. You gotta have some kind of marketing, advertising, and doing something. And where you gonna get your music played at? You can do it these days through a lot of streaming, but out here, you know what I'm saying, and getting yourself out here. How you gonna do it if you don't run across media people? You have it's part of that. So for an artist to treat media people crazy, that's crazy. Unless the media person tries to come at you in a certain way, like how we was talking earlier. A lot of these media people might try to hit you with that left field shit for shock value and all that other bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So those kind of media people and all that, nah, bro, you don't need to rock with them. But for the actual ones that can help you and to push your movement and to put your music out there and you out there, you need to rock with those media people and be cool. You know what I'm saying? Keep it humble, man. Everybody can fall and scrape their knee, bro. I need to chill out.
Absolutely. So how do you think the streaming has affected what's the difference between streaming and internet radio?
And internet radio?
Yeah. Like, what do you consider yourself like now? So from STLR, you said that didn't work out, you know, so now.
Oh no, we had a great run. Like every okay, say like, I like to use this analogy, playing ball, because you know I played basketball, I played a lot of ball. All right, so it's like, okay, you go to an NBA team, right? And you may win a championship with that team. But that doesn't mean that you're going to stay with that team for the rest of your career. You may go play for another team because there's other opportunities, there's things you might further your game. You know what I'm saying? There's other situations you want to be involved in. So that's how I kind of feel about each team that I play for. I won a championship, you know, because I was scoring 40 points a game, and we was playing and we was going in every team I played for. I wasn't bullshitting with this. And with my teammates, let's say Gintv and the other companies and businesses that I formed alliances with, we was winning. We was winning. We won championships on each team that I played for. It's just, you know, it was time to leave the squad and go to another fresh team. And get
well, you said they should have got their head cracked. Why'd you want to get their crack their head?
Oh, with the STLR situation, I'll leave that alone. Leave that alone. It's just the way it ended. And it could have ended. It could have ended. I could have went further, and it could have ended in another way. But my professionalism and my brand that I had established, I didn't say nothing, brother. I didn't say a damn thing. I left like a true G and went and won on another team.
And who's the other team? So from STLR, where did you go?
I went to, so my brothers, shout out to Gino. I mentioned Gino earlier. Him and one of my brothers, Rivers, you know what I mean, strong power players here in the 941. They had a station called BJam 5. You know what I mean? It was a melanated station. I was always off doing my thing, but I'm a melanated brother, so I always stay tough with the us, right? So brothers was doing their thing. I always on the phone with them. They, you know, it's peace. They over here doing their thing. I'm over here. But we always talk. They always trying to get me over that way. I was like, man, one day, bro, I probably will be over there. So after that shit happened with STLR, I went home. I went to us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Boom. You know what I'm saying? And it was hard. We had another great run. Mm-hmm. I had a great run with BJM 5.
So
I partnered with, we did a comedy jam. Shout out to DJ Double O and the homie Barack Amen. We did a comedy jam there. It was lit. I had a bunch of awesome artists. Every time I've gone to these different places, these different stations, I've always brought in awesome caliber people, you know, because, you know, you people see a lot of the celebrities and shit like that, and you think that, you know, that's what it is. But you've got people that are in your city that are awesome in their own rights in different avenues in life. You know what I mean? Like I've had the lady who's the chairperson for the NAACP. She's I can't think of her title right now, but she's like the head of the NAACP chapter in this area. Had her on. I've reached out. I've had a second grade class reach out to me where they sent me a Flat Stanley, this little cat that they drew. And Flat Stanley came to the station and hung out with Shizzle for like a week, and we taking pictures and doing things and going to events and stuff like that. And that was with a second grade class. Shout out to Miss Emily Lee, her second grade class there in Plant City. We got another thing we did with STLR, and shout out to my man Greg Cruz, who's like a philanthropist type of dude here in the city. We got the mayor, well, he was the mayor at the time, Mr. Willie Shaw. He gave us a proclamation declaring June 12th Stop the Violence Day. So like in New York, you got like Central Park. That's kind of like our little Central Park here in Sarasota. You know what I mean? We did an annual thing each summer where we brought a bunch of the businesses in the community together and just did stuff for the kids, man. Face painting, free stuff, free food, the barbecue, free sodas, music free, everything just free. And that's something that we've been doing here in Sarasota. It'll be like our 4th or 5th annual one when we can get a chance to get one out again from this COVID. And that's something that's kept going regardless of STLR, because there's no more STLR. But by the mayor declaring that for us, that shit's gonna go on for eternity. Dope, you know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
That's our day here. So that's something that I was a part of to help establish here in the city. You know what I'm saying? Which was really cool.
With radio now, how is the radio game to you? Like I was saying, because right now it's like heavily streaming. Like, what do you see the difference between the streaming, the internet, and how it was with terrestrial? Like, what's the major difference to you?
Well, for me, terrestrial radio, when you really didn't have an online source and the station had to establish an online source for people to listen outside the radius, that's what it did. Because in terrestrial radio, you have towers, right? You got towers. And those towers only broadcast to a certain radius, to a certain amount of people, right? Mm-hmm. So if you've got some towers that only can broadcast in your city, then you've got a show that's only going to be listened to in your city. And there's nothing you can do more about that because the tower access doesn't make it accessible for other people to listen. So that's when the internet came in. Well, the internet kind of transcended things because now people from all over can listen to you. You want to get your shit out to all the cities in the United States, you would have had to drive to all 50 states.
Right.
Now, all I got to do is make a connection with somebody in the state or something like that, or just whatever. You never know who's listening to your music. And it's not limited to just the states. It's worldwide. So as far as on the promotional level, I love the internet because now people in Africa can listen to me. You know what I'm saying? There was this dude that was in Nairobi over there in Africa, and I don't even know what he was saying, but he loved the Shizzle Show. So there might be a whole African tribe over there rocking to the Shizzle Show. Right. You know what I mean? And how would they been able to do that? And then I have another cat, shout out to my man Masaki, who's in Japan, who's a faithful listener to the Shizzle Show. And my man is in Japan. He's the one that told me it comes on at 10 o'clock in the morning over there at that time. You know what I'm saying? He's in Japan, loves the Shizzle Show. So there's no way you'd be able to capture this worldwide listenership without the internet, really. So the internet is good. I don't like how it does for music though, because you're speaking of streaming, you got to get 1 million damn streams to get $500, bro, or get, this small amount of money.
Right.
Whereas back in the day, if you got 1 million of anything or went gold at 500,000 of anything, you was getting bread, you was eating, you was considered successful. It was a whole different thing. You get 500,000 streams, you might get $4. That shit, I don't like that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't like that. And then you have to at least go download your single for 99 cents. So you at least got some kind of percentage from whatever, iTunes or whoever. Now it's like you ain't even get no bread for your streams. So that means, okay, so all these amount of people can get my music and I only get like $8 for it? What the hell, man? You know what I'm saying? So I don't like how it, in some way it is for an artist, but as far as for a radio personality or a radio show and how shit's gone kind of podcasty too. So that's another thing. There was no podcast. There wasn't no podcast. I guess I would say having.
What do you think is the difference? Because I call this a podcast for a lack of better terminology, because that's what everybody calls it. But this is just like a radio interview. What's the difference between a radio show and a podcast to you?
There's no radio nothing. Because with radio, I still play music. You have commercials, you have advertising, you know what I mean? What the people see on Watch is what you guys are just seeing on Watch. There's a lot of shit going on the radio, like from a radio aspect. Like I play instrumentals throughout the whole show. You know, shout out to my man Serge, my engineer, my man Flow High Radio, you know what I'm saying? I play instrumentals throughout the whole show because it keeps it vibrant, you know what I mean? Keeps it awesome, you know, keep the momentum up. I have a halftime where I play different mixes and stuff like that. And if a podcast doesn't play no music. Right. They play no music at all. Zero. So that's and then a podcast is just all visual. There's really no they do record the vocals of some podcasts and put them out. Right. But majority of podcasts are just all visual. That's another difference. You know,
do you think the comparison to podcast and AM radio, is that more comparable? Because that's what I think of it. Like podcast is more like radio, but in the AM stage, like, you know, it's just talk, mostly talk.
Yeah, I never thought of it that way. Because AM is all talk radio. So I never really thought, I never compared to me, terrestrial and internet is totally different. Podcast to me is just internet. Okay. That's how me personally, that's how I look at it. But I come from terrestrial radio, though. You know what I mean? Right. So it's just, there's terrestrial radio and there's internet radio. And internet radio, internet consists of podcasts, internet radio, all that shit that entails with the internet.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Because it's multiple different things that you can kind of do internet style, you know?
Right. That's true. So do you see as the future then? Because right now we're in the podcast game, you in the internet radio game. What do you see everything headed? Did you see this transition happening? Well, I know you did, because you went from terrestrial to internet.
Yeah, I jumped on it way before.
Right.
Even the podcast shit was cool. I jumped on that shit.
Right.
We jumped on it. Yeah. It's like what we've been doing is what they're doing now, kind of.
Right. So what's your, if you don't want to give the people your next vision, what do you have something in mind for the future? Like when?
Oh yeah. Oh hell yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Give us a taste. Let me, because I'll tell you something. When the DVD switch.
Hey, my shit is trademarked too when I go to say what I'm gonna say. Go ahead.
Okay. Dope. Yeah, even smarter. When the DVD switched to YouTube, I've been had a YouTube account. I've been monetized from the beginning. Like they was offering me monetization like 10 years ago. I was monetized. So about that 8-10 years. But anyway,
awesome, brother.
So now when I'm doing this stuff, I'm like, oh, I should have been more using these tools, and I would have been right up there in the YouTube
Oh yeah,
game,
me
you know,
too.
as I was in the internet and DVD game. So now I'm trying to play catch up and like, dang, if I would have paid more attention to what this was becoming. So now I'm on the lookout for the next thing of like, okay, where's this swinging to? And even the podcast thing, you know, that's even good. I don't see this lasting too, because so much people are doing it right now. I don't see this lasting too long. Like maybe another 2 to 3 years, I give it. But it's getting saturated, crazy heavy, really quick.
Yeah, but there's still a difference of people that's doing it though.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna go back to playing ball, bro. Like, mad brothers play ball, but the ones that can hoop stay hooping and further their game and
Right.
go do their thing.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, because
Not,
there will
not
always be
everybody,
a need.
just
There will
because you
always
can
be
dribble the
listenership.
ball, go ahead, my bad.
There will always be like listeners, and there will always be watchers. So you know, the talking thing will always be here.
This is not
And,
going anywhere.
right. That's
This
true.
is not
That is
going
true.
anywhere. And then especially like now sprinkling. Now I'm gonna sprinkle in a little bit of today, okay? With this COVID shit, it transcended everything. The Zoom game is on a whole other level. So with how it is, even of today for all of us, the visual is not going nowhere. It's gonna be
That's
the
true.
quality of the show or the entertainment you're trying to bring forth. How captivating it is to the people. That's what it's gonna be. That's what it's gonna be.
Right. So
Because it's just like radio. Like you hear some shit and you might not like that track. Whoop. Like what you did, turn that dial real quick. Whoop. Right? That's how you're gonna do with podcasts. You're gonna check it out. Not feeling that, boop, we'll go to something else.
so you're gonna get that podcast network going. Is that your next?
It's already, it already is. There's like, but I still keep it radio too. I've been doing both. I've been doing both. I keep it podcasty because we got the deal with Facebook Watch.
Okay. Tell us about
Word.
that. What's that deal about?
All right, so Facebook. All right, so you can go live on your phone and shit like that, which everybody does and shit like that. But they also have this thing on Facebook called Facebook Watch. You know what I'm saying? And if you got a certain little thing going on and you got a nice little number game happening, you know what I'm saying? They may holler at you and you might be able to get some things popping. And that's done through our station, Ohio Radio. They in Tampa. So I got to tell you all about that too.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell us about Flow High. Flow. So is that where?
I gotta get into that. All right, so we gotta go back. Boom. You remember I was telling you about I was at BGM 5. Okay, boom. Things came to a demise there. But peace to those brothers. Because it wasn't like no fallout or no negativity or no shit like that. It was just time for brothers to part ways and they was just doing different things at that time. And it was cool. It was, you know, it was just a mutual thing, well respected. I love Gino. I love Rivers. Those are my brothers. And I love Unc too. Those are my brothers. So me, it was time. All right. So after I left BJM, I was like, I didn't know what I really wanted to do. You know what I mean? I didn't know what I really wanted to do. And a cat named Sergio Santana, my man Sergio hit my inbox, was like, yo, you know what I mean? I've been checking your shit out, Shiz, you know what I mean? I like your style. Boom, boom, boom. Why don't you come up to Tampa for a meeting and see if you can dig my situation I got going on up here, right? So I was like, hell yeah, like I said, I overextended my boundaries here in the 941, man. We did a lot, man. We did it, man. We did it. So there was nothing more I could really do here. And sometimes, you got the old saying, take the show on the road. That's exactly what I did. Me and my man DJ Slick, who's a awesomely known DJ around here, he would be like, If he was in New York, he would be like, how would DJ Slick be? He'd be like a K Slay.
Okay.
He'd be like a K Slay. All right. So me and Slick went and had that meeting with Surge up there in Tampa. And it's been on and popping ever since. It's been on and popping, and that was 2 years ago. Matter of fact, November 18th was my second year up in Tampa. All right, so when we went to Tampa, it's like, it's a metropolitan up there. It's a big ass city, and it's got suburbs and different places and all that, right? Way, way bigger than where I live here in Sarasota. But I used to always have the people come down here that was popping from Tampa. So when I got there, I was kind of already established.
Right.
Because I had already been up there. And then Vibes and Rob, they live up that way in Brandon. You know what I mean? So Vibes and Rob, oh yeah, that's another thing. During all this time, me going through my thing, doing my 1-2 down here, they're coming down, yes, but they're doing their thing to the extreme up there in Tampa. They got the club, Green Gators, that's the one. They doing shows, AD coming down, bringing people, you know what I mean? It's just on and popping with Gintv up there. But I don't live up there. Remember, I'm down here. Right. So once I got up there, me and Slick, boom, we went up to Ohio. I'm up there now. I'm up there. So, man, once the people that knew about us, once they knew that I was actually up there now in the city with Gintv and up there doing our thing, it completely went bananas.
Dope.
Numbers went through the roof because I'm in the city. You know what I mean? I'm in the city. So there's mad people. Word. So and then, like I told you, go ahead.
So through Flow Ohio Radio, is that a terrestrial thing or is it an internet thing?
Internet. I don't know if I go back to terrestrial radio.
Okay.
Not unless they gave me a lucrative deal.
Right.
Because you have all these rules and regulations and FCC shit and all this other stuff. You don't have that with internet radio. I don't have nothing. You know what I mean? But I can appreciate being trained in terrestrial radio because like I have a certain professionalism about myself and my show. You know what I mean? Because I remember I used to have my shit segmented. And I used to have to run ads at this time. I had to run commercials at this time. I had to, and I had to do that because I used to produce my show all myself. I used to push the buttons. I liked it that way.
Right.
I liked it that way. I fortunately I got Surge now. I can just look over. I got him. He can, we got a thing happening. But I remember when I first went to one, I didn't like that shit. I didn't like the way I didn't want nobody. No, I gotta do it. Nobody can. I gotta produce my own show. But shit, now having somebody, it's a luxury. I can focus on being more of a personality and not have to push the buttons and worry about timing with that and timing with talking to the people. You know what I mean? But so, once we went up there, it numbers catapulted. So then iHeartRadio came about because the Shizzle show is on iHeartRadio. You know what I mean?
Congratulations, though.
Which is it's an awesome, that's a blessing to be on that platform. But we got the numbers up for it to be so, and I got that deal with iHeart, and then came multiple different other platforms. Like I'm on Apple, I'm on Google, on Spotify. Man, there's mad different platforms that the Shizzle show is on. And that all spawned from getting the deal with iHeart. So I appreciate that. I'm also syndicated. So my show is on Sundays from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern, right?
We record the show, iHeart, so we can catch you on iHeart?
Yes. We record the show Monday, iHeartRadio. It goes up on iHeart and all those platforms that I just mentioned on Monday. So you can catch me on iHeartRadio on Monday. You can go to iHeartRadio right now put in The Shizzle Show, you can check out all 81 episodes, I believe. I think it's, 81 episodes that I've done since I've been at Flowhio Radio. You can check out all of them. And I'm syndicated as well. Man, I want to shout out to my man Trap, my man Tyrone, who's the program director of 98.4 FM over there in Pennsylvania. So my show that I do on Sundays, I send it to Trap, and he replays it over there on WPIR 98.4 FM in Pennsylvania. So it gets played in Philly, in Pittsburgh, in all the major cities in shit there in Pennsylvania on Fridays. And that's from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. So that's awesome thing as well. And all of this stuff wouldn't have came about if, I didn't go to Tampa, because my city, I overextended all the boundaries and it didn't provide that opportunity. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I had to go up there. And once I've gone up there, things have flourished in an awesome way.
Yo, dope! Congratulations.
And a couple other things that came in between too, and I'll talk. We'll get into that too. Go ahead.
Like what? Like what are some things that that came in between that you?
All right. So Miss Rachel, there's this lady she's known in the city as the credit lady, Miss Rachel, right? Miss Rachel, she'll go rent out this one spot where we have our fest here. Damn, I can't think of the damn name of it right now. Shit, I can't even think about the spot. But anyways, and she brings in a bunch of the black businesses, right? She brings them all together. It's like you pay a little couple dollars, get you a booth, bring all the black businesses together. And she brings down a lot of celebrities, right? So the first time that Miss Rachel did it, I got to meet Miss Deb Atney, and she's from Love and Hip Hop. Miss Deb is Waka Flocka's mom. She was a big industry manager. So I got to get cool with Miss Deb. You know what I mean? So that was awesome. And I also got to meet Caesar from Black Ink. So that was cool. So that's something else to help establish things. But the second time she did it, or second or third time that she did it, she brought down Master P.
I remember that.
Word. So when she brought down Master P did no press, nothing. And a person of his caliber, people would have known. Right. People did know, but him, I'm sure you would have did all kind of different media outlets. Right. And he did none. But he did press with the Shizzle Show. I got a chance to sit down and interview him. Vibes, once again, shot that footage. You know what I mean? That was an episode of Shizzle Show on the Go. We've done so much shit. That's what it's called. It's called Shizzle Show on the Go. When we bounce to a spot and shoot the footage and hang out with you. You know what I mean? Salute to Smack. Smack used to do them, Smack DVDs. Smack used to do them joints all the time. So it's like a new age formula of the Smack. I used to love Smack DVDs. You know what I mean? We show up on you and get it popping with you on where you at on it with an interview. So anyways, we did that with Master P. Now that's Master P. Right. That shit really helped take things to another level. Really. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I've done things with a lot of different celebrities, and shout out to all the celebrities I've done things with. I got an awesome interview that I did last year with Papa Wu before he passed away. That was awesome, man. And man, Papa Wu was awesome, man. And I know if y'all Wu-Tang fans, all that, man, Papa Wu, that's Papa Wu. Y'all know who Papa Wu is, man. I got a chance to get real cool with Papa, man. And salute to the homie Napi. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's been a bunch of, there's so many interviews. A bunch of.
How much interviews you think you got? Do you ever tried to count? All
right, so check it out. I had to break this down because dude was like, well, why don't you don't remember or whatever. Hold up real quick. You might not remember. Okay, so think about it, okay? I've been doing this shit like 6-7 years, all right? There's 52 weeks in a year. I do a show once a week. So that's 52 times what? Let me go, hold on. We got to do 12. Well, hold on. You got to break it down, bro. You got to do 52 times what? About 7 years, right?
Right.
So that's over like 300. Man,
Before,
that's
yeah.
like over 300 people,
Right.
300 interviews.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, hold on. Let me. I'm sorry.
It's like 354 probably, something like that.
Hold on a
Or
second.
364 maybe.
Hold on. That's hold on. 41. You're right. Boom. 364.
Right.
364. So out of 364 interviews, I,
And you, yeah, it's
but
definitely.
I remember majority of them. I can remember all of them
Nah,
when
it's
I go to
impossible.
recollect and reflect on it. I just got to sit and just think about it for a second.
Dope, dope, dope. So, I ain't gonna hold you too long. Tell me, who's like your major five, like top five media outlets out there, or your excluding yourself, and you can exclude Gintv too. Like, what's the top five media outlets out there? Like, who should we
Who I'm
look out
rocking with,
for?
I like.
Yeah, that you
I
like,
like.
that you like.
I like Drink Champs with Nori.
Love Drink
Love,
Champ. Love Drink Champ.
love Drink Champs. Um, I love Expeditiously with Ti.
Okay, okay.
You know what I mean? Um, I love MREC and Amina.
Salute to MREC. Salute to
Word, I love MREC and Amina. Um, I love Hot Boxing with Mike Tyson.
Yeah, that'll be classic moments.
You know
What
what
you
I'm
think of that
saying?
fight? How'd you like that fight? Did you watch it?
Yeah, because I love Roy Jones, man. I got to play ball against Roy Jones. When I first was coming, me and my man was going to school down here playing ball, right?
Oh,
Roy
that's
Jones
crazy.
used to play with I know y'all heard about it too. Everybody, if you follow Roy used to play for a semi-pro basketball team called the Sun Devils, right?
Oh, I didn't even know that. Yo, that's dope.
When we was playing ball, they used to use our gym as a practice facility when I was in college down here, and I got to play ball against Roy. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And
That's
I
crazy. That's crazy.
out in his ass too. Roy with his left hair. Roy's nice though. He was nice and he's awesome. Roy's so awesome. But this was way back, man. This was way back. And I can remember this brother had on some J's because he was signed to Team Jordan. He had on some
Right.
J's that I never seen before. Nobody never saw. And he was in a chameleon colored Rolls Royce, like a throwback joint. It was hard. And his trainer dude, remember the old cat, the trainer dude? He was cool. He was mad cool. I remember him giving me props, me and my man props that we was getting some water. He was like, yo, y'all got game. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So I always love Roy, long story short, I always love Roy Jones. Got to play basketball against him and got to chill with him for like 5 minutes. So, you know what I mean? It made me love him even more because he's a cool, humble cat. And I love Tyson. I always love Tyson. We all love Tyson, seeing them fights, man.
I
We
love
all love
Tyson.
Tyson.
I love
We
Tyson.
love Tyson.
You think it was a draw? I think Tyson got that, man. I
Oh
think.
yeah, Tyson got it. But they did a draw for
Yeah,
it
yeah.
to
Of course
carry
they want
on.
that
It
rematch
was,
and all that.
and you know what? I love it even more that it was a draw because it was an exhibition fight. There wasn't supposed to be
Right,
a
right.
winner.
There wasn't gonna be no winner. That's what I told my man before when we started watching it. I was like, yo, ain't nobody ain't nobody
Yeah,
gonna
it wasn't
win.
supposed to be a winner. And it was just great to see, man. It's good to see those old cats, still in shape. You know what I mean? They in their 50s,
Right.
still awesome, still going at it, man. Just it was awesome to see. Just for a fan and loving both of those brothers, it was just awesome to see.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So we have four. We got Drink Champs, we got MREC, we got Tyson, we got Ti. Who who holds that fifth spot right now, you think?
Um, I can get two parts if you don't mind
Yeah,
on
yeah,
that
yeah.
one.
Go ahead, go ahead. Because we just showing love to all the media out there, really, that we do.
Because Talib Kweli, I like Talib's joint.
Mm-hmm.
I like his joint. You know what I'm saying? He's got a nice little podcast. And Snoop's GGN. I like GGN
Yeah,
too.
GGN is dope. GGN, I kind of had
GGN is cool.
that's something I was trying to do too, called Inside the Studio, Gintv Inside the Studio.
Yeah, man. GGN is cool.
Yeah, I
So
like that. You know.
so those other than like I like Young Pharaoh too, man. I on some whole other type shit.
Yeah, that's
like
the more the conscious community right there.
word, word. And that's what I love about Rec, man. Rec and Amina. I love Amina. Boy, she be dropping them jewels, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's where I be at, because you know I still believe with a lot of the mathematical teachings of the 5%. You know what I mean? So that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You know what I'm saying? So I seek that. So I got to look at my sources too that'll give you that. I remember where that's let me sprinkle this in real quick about the internet too. I remember I used to have to read books, my brother. I used to have to read a lot of books to get the knowledge. Now I can get jewels just to go into certain sources. The right sources, you can get the right jewels, because mainstream media pushes a certain narrative, and that narrative may not be the truth. Whereas you go on these different outlets that we're talking about right now, these brothers are they're able to come no holds barred. Oh yes, I can mention Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's got a good show too, bro. I'll be looking at Joe Rogan's show too. Joe Rogan be having them out there, I guess. Right. But why I'm saying that is a lot of the platforms are able to hit the people with information that mainstream media won't give you.
Right.
That's the best way I can put that right there.
So let's touch on the knowledge. Let's build on the knowledge for a second. Because I love to build all day.
Man, I build all day. Oh, man.
Do you think there's, for like too much knowledge out there? Because like I'm like, yo, everything can't be a conspiracy theory. Like, what's killing me nowadays is like everything.
What you mean too much knowledge? What you mean?
It's like people don't want to deal in facts no more. It's like everybody's questioning the facts now, and I think that's what's like, people want to question the question and don't want to come.
But they've been oversaturated by bullshit, so they don't know what to decipher.
That's what I mean by too much knowledge. Is like nobody don't know what the source of knowledge to trust no more. It's like, oh, this person said this, but now this person said this, and this person said this. So it's like, who do you trust?
When you see that truth, my brother, when you see that truth and you hear that truth, there's a certain feeling that resonates within yourself. So that's how you can really decipher between those ones that's just blowing smoke up people's asses, trying to just talk whatever, and then the ones that's really putting jewels out here.
Right. But the 85 is going to be blind, dumb, and deaf. So
the 85 is a large percent. So that answers your question. The 85 are a large percentage of dumb, deaf, and blindness. So
So they just gonna be lost, huh?
That's why.
I dig. Yo, Shizzle's been. I could chop it up with you probably all night, you know, but I ain't gonna hold you too tough. You know, we're gonna have you back on, you know, because I want to.
Yeah, man. I feel like we could do another part to this. Like, I ain't really get a chance to give it all.
Of course, we wanna keep, you know, because that's my whole. I wanna, you know, highlight the media. So, you know, I don't want to give them everything one time. I want them to tune into the Shizzle show, get to know my man Shizzle more as a personality, get to know his show more, and as y'all build with him more, y'all come back here to Media Legends, and you know, we gonna reveal more of our story. You know, we're gonna keep telling our story because it's a long story. This is not nothing that could be told in one chapter. You know, we got to keep on telling it. Keep on telling it. So I let them know where they can find you at, all your handles, and you know what else you got coming forward.
All right. Well, my show, it's The Shizzle Show. It's on Sundays from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. You can check us out visually on Facebook Watch. Just go to Florhio Radio. I call it Florhio Facebook Watch. You know what I mean? You go check us out on there for the visual. On iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple, Google, multiple different platforms, man. Just put in The Shizzle Show. My name is Dax. It's Dax Harris. Or if you want to go on the Facebook and check it out. You know what I mean? I rocks with the Facebook. You can go on the gram. This is the Shizzle Show. All that Twitter stuff, all that, the Shizzle Show. And yeah, man, that's it. Just check it out. You could probably just go Google it. Not to sound cool or nothing like that, but you could. But I'm the only one, so
you gotta be Googleable. You gotta be Googleable. You know that.
Yeah, the Shizzle Show, and you can check it all out, man. And we appreciate everybody that tunes into us worldwide. You know what I mean? And that's what's up.
Yo, Dax, Shizzle, yo, I appreciate having you. I look forward to doing this again. I thank everybody for tuning in to Media Legends Podcast. Yo, keep on watching. We getting it in. Tell your story or somebody else will. Gintv.com